You're watching Bizworld. I'm Anita Wu. The outcomes of the Bantuan Prihatin Nasional (BPN) appeal will be released next week. According to Finance Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz, a total of 10.04 million BPN recipients received a total payout of 10.78 billion ringgit as at June 5th.
Daripada 10.6 juta penerima yang diluluskan, seramai 10.04 juta telah dibayar dengan jumlah bayaran sebanyak 10.78 bilion ringgit ataupun 96.7%. Selebihnya, penerima boleh menuntut di cawangan BSN sehingga 31 Disember 2020.
On the Employees Provident Fund EPF iLestari program, he said the number of applications approved increased to 4.1 million compared with 4 million previously. The total payout involved was 1.94 billion ringgit per month. On the EPF's employee contribution reduction from 11% to 7%, he said over 5.7 million workers opted to continue reducing their contribution. The total EPF contribution deduction from members to date accounted for 1.87 billion ringgit. While the total number of contributors who chose to keep their contribution at 11% was now 1.85 million. Some 19 projects worth 3.6 million ringgit have been approved and disbursed since the launch of Hasanah Special Grant 2020 on April 15th, an initiative between the Finance Ministry and Yayasan Hasanah. The special grant is part of the Prihatin package to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. The approved projects varied from providing basic food aid, enhancing livelihood through vegetable farming and distribution, stingless bee farming, counselling services, healthcare services, as well as children's education. They have reached almost the whole country, assisting the B40 communities in the urban and rural areas, benefiting more than 7,000 people. The projects are being conducted from 3 to 12 months and will be monitored to ensure a smooth delivery of all agreed outputs. The Malaysia Productivity Corporation, MPC, through the Machinery and Equipment Productivity Nexus, has urged industries to leverage on the complementary digital programs and advisory service to boost productivity growth. These initiatives are in line with the government's announcement on short-term economic recovery plan, Penjana, to propel businesses, empower people and stimulate the economy. MPC Director General Dato' Abdul Latif Abu Saman said the corporation has taken several steps to assist the industry to rebuild businesses and accelerate the economic recovery. Among them, webinars and online training for capacity building, business virtual advisory services, and a review of regulations to reduce unnecessary burdens in rebuilding businesses. Continuous efforts are in place to hasten and catalyse economic recovery and productivity growth as the MCO eases and business activities increase.
Together, we will work with you to find solutions to your challenges. Do contact MPC Advisory.
MIDF Research has raised its automotive total industry volume TIV forecast this year to 554,433 units, following the tax holiday announcement beginning June 15th until year-end. The firm now expects this year's TIV to contract by a much smaller 8.3% year-on-year, compared to the previously expected 16.5% contraction. In a research note today, it said the much longer 6.5 months implementation should give the sector sufficient support to ride through the weak second half of 2020. For the record, when the 3-month tax holiday was implemented in 2018, MIDF said monthly TIV rose by an average of 32% year-on-year, or about 21,000 units per month. In comparison, MIDF's revised projections for 2020 imply a relatively conservative 7,800 units per month incremental TIV over the tax holiday period. The research firm said the sector is also set to see an inflection point from the third quarter onwards, given the confluence of positive catalysts from the automotive tax holiday, abundance of liquidity created for consumers via the various stimulus measures, and a low interest rate environment. Meanwhile, Affin Hwang Capital Research said the sales tax exemption should limit the sharp contraction in sales seen in April's year-to-date TIV figures. It also expects the 2020 auto sector's earnings decline to ease by 8% year-on-year instead of the previous expectation of an 11% decline. The research house's preliminary checks indicated that car prices could be lowered by an estimated 3 to 8% under the sales tax exemption. It also foresees that automakers could use this opportunity to roll out new models, give additional discounts, and use every incentive to clear their inventory and beat the competition. Nonetheless, it has maintained its TIV forecast at 485,000 units, down 20% year-on-year from 604,000 units recorded in 2019. A challenging economic environment entailing higher unemployment and lower disposable income due to pay cuts will see Malaysian consumers deferring purchases of big-ticket items such as cars. That's all the time we have for Bizworld with you today. I'm Anita Wu. Thank you for investing your time with us and keep tuning in to TV3.